L'écho de ma foi. L'écho de ma foi pour les témoignages de la foi chrétienne et la croissance spirituelle. L'écho de ma foi avec Oscar Musumba et le DJ Achille Matumba-Kwecho.
Nous sommes en Égypte, dans le vicariat du Caire Alexandrie. Du 11 au 13 avril 2023, la paroisse Saint-Joseph des Amalek avait effectué un pèlerinage au mont Sinai. Géographiquement, ce mont est situé en Égypte et culmine à une altitude de 2285 mètres. Sur le plan religieux, ce mont est connu grâce au personnage de Moïse, à qui Dieu avait donné les 10 commandements qui constituent les fondements de l'alliance entre Dieu et le peuple d'Israël. Aujourd'hui, cette sainte montagne attire l'attention des millions de touristes et pèlerins. Attentivement, écoutons les témoignages des paroissiens de Saint-Joseph Samalek, exprimés en différentes langues suivant la provenance de chacun.
Je suis le père Claude Ondogar, missionnaire combonier, et je suis du Tchad. Et ça fait presque 10 ans que je suis dans cette paroisse, comme dans cette province, comme curé de la paroisse Saint-Joseph des Amalek et comme directeur des études d'art comboni. Je crois que le pèlerinage, ça fait partie de l'histoire de l'Église. L'Église a toujours organisé des pèlerinages et c'est un moment spirituel où les gens font une expérience sur la trace de ceux qui ont fait ça avant. Et alors cette année, pour la première fois, nous avons décidé d'organiser ce pèlerinage sur le mont Sinai, que sûrement c'est une histoire et la trace où Dieu a donné le 10 commandements, l'étape de la loi à Moïse. Et je crois que c'est beau que le peuple, les chrétiens maintenant fassent cette expérience-là pour pouvoir aussi vivre un peu ce que l'Évangile dit, mais ce que la Bible nous enseigne. C'est pourquoi j'ai décidé cette année d'organiser ce pèlerinage avec les paroissiens et avec quelques amis étudiants qui sont là. Donc ça a été une bonne occasion pour nous de nous ressourcer sur les traces de l'histoire chrétienne. Je crois que le mot que je pourrais adresser, c'est plutôt d'encourager l'Église à revenir aussi à son histoire. Parce que plus souvent, nous sommes dans l'inculturation et nous oublions qu'est-ce qui a été le fondement de cette histoire. Donc, si les paroisses et les chrétiens pourraient toujours, chaque fois, revenir à cela et organiser des moments comme ça, pour pouvoir aider les gens à se ressourcer spirituellement. Je crois que c'est ça le message qui est important pour nous, parce que nous sommes dans une période, dans un siècle où le ressourcement, tout le monde le cherche. Il y a beaucoup de chrétiens qui vont dans les monastères pour prier pendant 2-3 jours, même si ce ne sont pas les religieux. Donc je pense que c'est une chose à bien encourager que l'Église, nous comme responsables de l'Église, nous devons nous mettre devant pour donner l'exemple aux autres.
Merci beaucoup.
L'écho de la foi.
Je me nomme Yewaya Christian Oudrago, je viens de Burkina Faso, je suis missionnaire d'Afrique.
Merci beaucoup. Après l'expérience du mont Sinai, quelle est votre impression?
En venant ici au mont Sinai, en faisant ce pèlerinage, je savais que c'est suivre les pas de nos aînés dans la foi. Et nous savons que c'est sur le mont Sinai que Moïse a rencontré Dieu et il a reçu la loi, les 10 commandements, qui a été source de l'alliance entre le peuple d'Israël et Dieu, qui a conduit jusqu'à la nouvelle alliance avec Jésus-Christ. Ainsi, suivre ces pas, le pas de Moïse et le peuple d'Israël, je suis venu à la rencontre de Dieu. Et faisant cette expérience, je peux dire que j'ai vraiment rencontré Dieu et il m'a donné encore une loi, comme nous avons écouté dans l'évangile aujourd'hui. Le Christ nous demande d'aimer Dieu et d'aimer notre prochain. Et je pense que c'est cette loi encore que nous recevons aujourd'hui et que nous devons propager dans le monde entier à travers notre vie quotidienne de tous les jours.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci.
L'écho de la foi.
Initially, when I was moving to go there, I was very eager to reach the place, and I was imagining that when I reach the place, it will be what? It is really heaven. But when I reached there, I couldn't have any other feelings. I couldn't imagine having any other feeling beyond being with God like Moses was with God there. And even I think as you see me now, right now, my face is glittering, just like the one of Moses.
It's shining.
It is shining. It's glittering. I am just from the meeting with God. It's glittering. So I cannot have any opinions beyond that. That is too good to be described.
It was really so wonderful to the extent that even some of our colleagues had to share this during the Eucharistic celebration, that some almost slept on the rocks because there were a lot of rocks, but with the grace of God and with the strength that God gave to each one of us, we were able to overcome that and reach and be able to have this special encounter with the Lord. Actually, right now my legs are still painful, but I feel joyful. I feel very, very, what can I say? I feel very, very blessed, very, very graced to have reached where the Lord himself, where Moses himself encountered the Lord. And actually when I started climbing the steps, going up on this mountain, it came to my mind because I could see at a certain moment I say, God, will I be able to reach here? Will I be able to reach here? Of all the mountains, God, you chose to reveal yourself to Moses from this mountain, very high, very far to reach. And from time to time, I started imagining, surely the road to follow the Lord is not easy. This is what came to my mind. To follow the Lord and also to go to encounter the Lord is not easy. It requires removing my shoes. So I felt the Lord himself was telling me, remove your shoes. Remove whatever is preventing you. Whatever tiredness, whatever bad imaginations that are discouraging me from continuing to walk, to journey up to this high peak of the mountain. Remove it like I told Moses, remove your shoes. So this is what accompanied me in this journey of climbing up to the mountain of the Lord, and I was very happy. I felt so great, so blessed, so graced to be in the mountain of the Lord. And in fact, when I reached, I said, if I have reached to this peak where Moses encountered God, then I will be able to overcome everything in the world. This was my conviction after reaching this peak. So I feel blessed, although tired and with a bit of pain here and there, but I feel happy and strengthened. Looking at the mosque and the church being together, closer to each other and actually opposite to each other, my impression was the church open and the mosque at the same time open would bring a bit of inconveniences for our Muslim brothers, but that was the impression which came to me immediately on seeing the church closed.
Friday.
But
Might
all
be
the same,
day of the
yes,
Muslims.
because
Okay.
it was also on a Friday.
Maybe.
But all the same, we were able to stand, to go there near the church, near the door of the church, to take the photos of the cross, to see the cross of the church, although it is kept there like a statue. To me, I saw the church is like a statue. And the mosque was open, but the church is like a statue. It's just kept there like a statue, as a representation that long ago it was a Christian place. But it is like a statue. My message to the leaders of the Christian churches is that if we are working hand in hand to dialogue, so we have to look into that issue why the church is closed and then the mosque is open, and try to grant a bit of justice that if the mosque is open, then the Christians also who are coming for pilgrimage should be allowed to enter inside the church where Moses received the 10 Commandments.
My first message is that the religious leaders should see to it that church is expanded. It was built in the 6th century. The church is said to have been built in the 6th century. But now people are so many. There are so many people going there. It should be made to be able to accommodate at least 100 people. I know space there is little, but at least if that space is utilized well, it can be made to accommodate 100 people. Or even build it in a kind of story, one down, another one up, so that two masses can go on at the same time, or two groups can be entering at the same time. And yes, that is it. So about the church, that's about the church. Secondly, the space there, it should be improved. There are cliffs. Yeah? There are cliffs. There are places where there is loose rock. It should be a compound should be created, so that when others are inside, others can be also comfortable outside.
Okay.
So it is really a place. Those are the
Holy place, a holy place,
the origin
historical
of our faith.
place.
Historical. The
It
10
gives-
commandments which rule the world today, which rule our Christian life, which rule everybody. The 10, which were summarized by Jesus into 2. That is the origin.
That is the origin.
And it is not taken care of.
It's not taken care of.
Yes. Yes. The road has to be constructed. Let it become a road. Let it not be risky for the pilgrims. So as we were told during Mass, a priest died last year. He slipped off a cliff, and his companions did not know that he had slept off it because they must have been traveling at night. So he died down there, and he was found after 4 days. So I want to ask put the steps proper, level some places, let it be easy to travel, to walk there, and put some guards along the road up to there. Those loose stones are very dangerous, and some of the parts are too steep. So the engineers know what to do when they are told to do and when they are financed.
I'm Reverend Father Simon Mapera from Uganda, western part of Uganda, Fort Portal Catholic Diocese. My experience is quite really interesting because after spending those long hours trekking, going up and down, rolling around the rocks, finally we reached our peak at around 4:30 a.m. So I was really tired, I was worn out, but my experience, the joy, when I reached up there, I felt so peaceful and I could not even feel the pain anymore. So I was really happy, but I know it was not my own strength, my own power, my own energies, but maybe the hand of God really was on me, not only on me, but with all others who were able to make it. Yeah. My friend, seeing the place, I saw rocks. Rocks, valleys, mountains, hills, name it, bare rocks. No grass, no trees, no shrubs.
No sand.
No sand. To me, it was completely a different experience. My first time to see such a great hill or mountain, which is bare. Dust, rocks, no grass, no trees. Because back at home for us, we are used to the vegetation covering places, forests, grass of that of every kind. But this one was completely different from what I knew before. And also being the first time to be in such an area, it is a mix of experiences, both joys and some moments of maybe sadness because of the long hours of the journey. But finally we made it, and I'm glad that I'm privileged I was among those blessed to be here.
Yeah, to reach the Holy Land.
I tell you,
the experience was very amazing.
It's very amazing. For the first time, we have been all along reading these stories in the Bible, in the books, academic books, in the whatever spiritual books. But now my feet, the whole of me, is here on this land, experiencing it, the goodness, the sweetness of this area. Back at home also we have some places of pilgrimage. For example, we have the one of the Uganda Matters, Namugongo, Kampala, where we always go every 3rd of June every year. And also in our different places there, we also have other places. But really some of people, they don't see much. They are not so much interested in finding out or going out to those places to reflect, to pray, and also even to interact with others. But when you see most of the people who come, they normally come from far off places, distant places, even in countries. People spending weeks, months walking, and you find people within a certain locality cannot even go there. They are busy doing their businesses, farming, selling, and buying. So for me, I would really encourage people to come up so that they can really see. I think it is both physical and spiritual. We gain walking and stretching, climbing those mountains, rocks after another, and also you also gain spiritually when you reflect especially on the journey of our faith, right from the Old Testament, how Moses was leading the Israelites out of Egypt, that when they reached at the base of this mountain, people were left down, and then he went up to receive a message from God, the 10 Commandments. When he delayed there, people got scattered, they got lost. They started even practicing witchcraft, if I can say, worshipping small gods, making their own small god, because Moses had taken along with God up on the mountain. But when he came, he was not really happy with what he found. So mostly, sometimes we Christians, or we people, we human beings, we also experience the same. When we get, maybe when our leaders are far from us, we tend to get lost. When we experience some hardships in life, maybe sickness, maybe lack of financial support, maybe when we lose our dear ones, so we think that God is not near us. Why we? Why me? Why me alone? So God is always near. He's always near us, but it's not up to us to approach Him, to look for Him, to find Him, so that He can enter our own lives, our own experiences, so that He can transform us into what He wants.
Le code de la foi. Le code de la foi.
Je m'appelle Pascaline Dela, je viens du Cameroun. Je suis catholique, Marie. En fait, je viens du centre du Cameroun. Et ma paroisse est Marie-Reine de Victoire à Yaoundé. Et au Caire, je suis à Zamalek, à la paroisse Saint-Joseph. le pèlerinage, c'était déjà quelque chose vraiment d'impressionnant. Quand on arrive sur la place et quand on regarde la colline du bac, et commence à voir si on va réussir à le faire. Donc, monter pendant 4 heures de temps, c'était assez éprouvant. Mais quand on arrive au pic, on est soulagé. On est assez satisfait de l'avoir fait. Donc, les sentiments sont positifs. Une petite victoire.
C'est une victoire.
Oui,
quand c'est une victoire, ça montre comment ça a été.
Oui.
Ouais. Comment avez-vous vu la place?
Bon, déjà, la place, c'est un endroit assez retiré. C'est une ascension assez pénible parce que c'est jonché de pierres. Comme on dit, c'est vraiment un mont. Et la personne qui veut y aller doit déjà s'apprêter physiquement parce que c'est assez éprouvant. Et également s'apprêter au terme du climat parce qu'au sommet, il fait vraiment froid. Donc maintenant, pour la surprise, les gens qui veulent venir, on peut déjà leur garantir la beauté de l'endroit. Et au sommet, la particularité, on a une mosquée et on a une petite église. Donc en venant, il ne faut pas être surpris de voir le jumelage des religions. Donc on peut déjà garantir ça. Et c'est quelque chose de très beau, comme je dis. Que ce soit la vue, que ce soit le lever du soleil au petit matin, parce que l'ascension, ça se passe dans la nuit. Donc on invite tout le monde, c'est une expérience à vivre, ça ne se raconte pas, il faut vraiment la vivre.
Oui, alors quel peut être votre message peut-être à l'Église et aux dirigeants et à tous les chrétiens en général, surtout ceux de Yaoundé ou bien du Cameroun, partout au Cameroun, quel peut être votre message?
Pour ceux du Cameroun, c'est comme un retour sur les pas du peuple d'Israël. Si vous avez des moyens, c'est mieux de le faire. C'est très important de savoir d'où vient la religion. C'est très important de voir d'où sont partis les prémices de notre religion. Où le Moïse a pris les 10 commandements dont on nous parle depuis que nous sommes enfants. Et pour l'Église, ça sera bien de divulguer l'information, d'encourager les gens à venir et peut-être de développer un côté catholique. Parce que quand on arrive sur place, c'est beaucoup plus un peu musulman. Donc c'est ça mon message en fait.
L'écho de la foi, l'écho de la foi.
I'm Makokulu James Victor. I'm from Ghana, and as you can see, I'm here in Egypt, specifically in Mount Sinai, to have my own experience of the Moses journey of receiving the covenants from God in the mountain. Actually, climbing from the beginning, the bottom part of the hill, it was very easy. So I thought maybe that would be the part. The part would just be easy like that. So I wasn't feeling any pain at the beginning. But as we're going ahead, the steps were, they were kind of high. So there was a tendency and a possibility to fall or to slip.
Maybe to go back.
That is it. So you have to support going like you are crawling. You are crawling. And at this stage, I could tell you, man is tired. What you need is courage, strength to move, to go. And if you are not wearing a shoe that is good to pass through the rocks, or a shoe that is very strong to climb mountains, then bet me you will slip, or you wouldn't have the courage to go ahead. But having the courage and seeing other people also going, I also got the courage to climb, even though I was very tired, getting to places to take small coffee. I was asking myself, is that really all after the journey? Because it was like when I was getting to the peak of the mountain, though I was very tired, I was also relaxed. Because I think this spiritual journey, accompanied by some kind of prayers I did, it was relieved of pain. And getting to the bottom, the peak of the mountain, I saw how Christians engage themselves in prayer, worship, and thanksgiving. It was really a place to encounter God. I really felt the presence of God. And I think it's a place that each and every Christian should try to have that kind of pilgrimage, to go and encounter God, the Moses encounter. Because, after this journey, from the peak of the mountain, I felt some kind of, relief. I offered prayers on behalf of my family, my friends, and loved ones. I felt that it is the right place to offer sacrifice to God. When I was at the peak of the mountain, I saw 2 buildings. And I was told that the one building at my right hand was the church for Christians, and the other one was for Muslims. So I wanted to go to the church and pray to offer my thanksgiving to God. And I realized that the church was closed. I was surprised that at the peak of the mountain, a mountain that is recognized, an important place for Christians and Muslims as well, but why should the church be closed? Knowing that it's a place where people come to pray, to thank God, to offer sacrifices. So why should the church be closed, since the church is a place where we offer our sacrifices to God? So I could say I was a bit scandalized. But on the other hand, the mosque was open. The mosque was open. I was totally confused. And before this event, when we were about to climb the mountain, we took with us our vessels. investment to celebrate Mass at the top, to offer our sacrifice to God. And before we climbed, these things were taken from us. The police said that it wasn't possible to carry with us our vessels to celebrate Mass. So I now understood why the church was closed and the mosque was open. No, what I will say to the leaders of the church is that they try to encourage Christian leaders, through dialogue with the state, to make these places, these tourist places where churches are being built, to be open, to be accessible for Christians, because it is a place where most Christians, Catholics come, so it is interdenominational. So I think the church should intervene together with the state and make the place accessible for all. Understand? And then also, I want to tell our leaders to encourage the faithful to go on pilgrimage. It's a very important spiritual activity, because climbing the journey, I saw how, our relationship to God is not that easy. Our relationship to God is involved with a lot of challenges, with a lot of difficulties, but what is important is courage. What is important is strength, the desire to go and meet God. And I was very happy to be at the summit of this mountain and to see the rising of the sun.
Thank you so much.
I'm very glad.
I'm James Panti. I'm from India. I come from the south part of India, and I am a seminarian in the Society of African Missions. In short form, it is SMA. It was a long journey of 4 hours of climbing the mountain, and it was not a straight one, but it's a climbing, and we had to use a lot of strength, a lot of energy. Sometimes our spirit was down. Oh, can I make it? It's too long, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. It was going so long. And with the faith in God gave us strength. With a lot of prayers, faith, we still went forward so that we reach our destination. And at last, when we reached the destination, the peak of the mountain, I could feel that the weather got too much cold. It was too cold that it was unable to bear without jackets or overcoats. And that signifies that the place of God for humans is not easy for us to face. That was the experience of Moses also. When he met God, he was unable to see God with his face because he saw God in front. At the same time, the presence of God was so much hard there that we could not even bear. But looking at the place as geographical or as a place of aesthetics, it is really good. When I went, I saw a group of people, a group of Canadians, with a lot of zeal, a lot of faith in God, and people of different age groups. They were there with the sticks because Moses was old and he went to mountain with stick. And they were with sticks and they were sitting like this, and they were praying, praising God, glory, hallelujah, and then singing very well in English. And that group was really charismatic. You know what happened? Instead of from being with my group, I went and joined that group. I was also there praising, singing. I really enjoyed that group. Okay. I could see the faith of people after a long journey of climbing and tiring. And I also see the place. When I went to the place, I could see 2 buildings. One, and when I went there, I was unable to find out what are these places. But I could, after some kind of discussion with people, I came to know that one is a church. Of course, that is very clear because there is cross. And the other one was mosque for Muslims. And it was really good that I could find 2 different holy places for the prayer, building of the prayer. And it was really so much impeccable for me to experience such kind of unity in diversity. Yeah. After this wonderful experience, I could tell the leaders that this place is also a holy place for us and for Muslims, to all of us. But after a lot of efforts, we climbed the mountain, a lot of efforts and a lot of hope that after reaching there, we can pray in the church. When we went there, we could find the mosque open. But, we are not allowed inside the mosque as Christians. And we found that the church was closed. And we are Christians. If the church were to be opened, we would have first sought the asylum. The asylum means because it was too cold for our bodies to bear. There was a cold air going inside our ears and making us suffer. If the church was to open, we would have gone into the place of God, in the building, to cover ourselves from the weather, first of all, speaking humanly. And speaking spiritually, we were prohibited by the police not to carry any holy things for the Mass, the chalice, corium, the things for the Mass. It actually shows us that we are forbidden from celebrating the Holy Eucharistic celebration. And that was really so much hard for me to accept. That was very clear distinction between, I would say discrimination between Muslims and Christians. And I would tell the Christian leaders to look after this place. This place is internationally, it's a very special place for us. And people from different countries come to visit this place. And first of all, it hurts our faith. Really sorry, but it hurts our faith when we don't find our church open to pray. And I would tell the leaders to please consult with the state of here, the police or anyone, the government, so that there is access for Christians and then Muslims, everyone, because this place is meant for everyone. It's not only for one group of faith. It's diverse. What can I tell the people, Christians of India? Please come to Mount Sinai. Today I was very happy. There was a bus and I could see many Indians coming to the Mount Sinai. And I was very happy to greet them on the way. And I was coming down the mountain with my brother Victor, and and these Indians were going. And I was encouraged to greet each other. And I was very happy to find many Indian Christians. And it shows that to reach the place of God, there should be thirst. St. Augustine says, our hearts are restless until they find their rest in you. So I could say the Mount Sinai can give us some kind of peace of mind and some consolation when you go and pray there. So that's what I would say. I encourage you to come to Mount Sinai and enjoy your visit. I would say in my language. నేను ఈరోజు మీకు చెప్తున్నది ఏంటంటే సినాయి పర్వతం అనేది చాలా ముఖ్యమైనటువంటి ప్రదేశం మనందరికీ. సో ఒక టూరిజం ప్లేస్ లాగానే కాకుండా ఒక మన యొక్క ఆధ్యాత్మిక జీవితంలో మనకు ఉపయోగపడేటువంటి ఒక మంచి ప్రదేశం. సో మీరందరూ కూడా తప్పకుండా విచ్చేసి ఈ యొక్క ప్రదేశాన్ని చూసి ఆనందపడండి. ఆధ్యాత్మికమైనటువంటి ఆనందం అండ్ మరియు ఒక మంచి ప్రదేశాన్ని చూసినటువంటి ఒక ఆనందం. సో ఈ ప్రదేశం చాలా మంచిది. మీ యొక్క జీవితంలో విశ్రాంతిని, శాంతిని, మనశ్శాంతిని కలగజేస్తుంది.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Reverend Father Lanchot Maluma from the Archdiocese of Lusaka, Zambia. I came for pilgrimage at Mount Sinai, and the experience that I experienced when I went there was so awesome. It was a great experience because it is at Mount Sinai where Moses received the 10 Commandments. It is at Mount Sinai where Moses talked to God face to face. And so it was a privilege for me to reach this place where Moses himself encountered God, where he talked with God. And so the journey from where we started from the foot of the mountain going up, it took us so many hours, 4 hours to reach the top. And it was so tiresome. And it is a lesson for me to say, you need to persevere in life for you to encounter God. You should never give up. You would move on the stairs about 1 kilometer, you sit, you rest, you continue. At no point did I think of going backwards. And so in our faith, it is a lesson for me to say, as you try to encounter God, we'll find challenges in life, but you should never give up. Once upon a time, if you are given a privilege in your spiritual journey, it's a nice place to visit. And for the leaders, once if you are in Egypt, you come to Egypt or you come to Israel, it is one of the places that you need not to miss in life, because it is a point of our faith. It is a place where that can help us to nourish our spiritual journey.
L'écho de la foi. 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 L'écho de la foi.
He took bread and giving thanks, broke it and gave it to his disciples, saying, "Take this, all you, this is my body." In a similar way, he took the chalice and asked God, "Take this, all you, for this is the chalice of my blood, the blood of the new covenant. Do this and remember." He is Lord. He is God. He is Lord. He has risen from the dead. He is Lord. Every knee shall bow, every tongue confess that Jesus Christ is Lord.
L'écho de la foi.